Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. You know what you got to do: rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. Follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet a lot, but when I do tweet, it's thoughtful, it's very informational. So go check that out. Okay. Got me a new camera stand for my car, so now I can be able to film videos this way. I kind of like this angle, but that's not what this. But that's not why I made this video. Made this video to let you guys know of NBA veterans who signed this summer, maybe possible trade chips for the trade market this season. And I could go on and tell y'all about Marcus Gasol, about if Joakim Noah is going to finally find a place, finally find a home, a team, an NBA team. I could talk about Eric Gordon, who's already signed to the Rockets. But I only want to talk about these two players because I just don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be. And that's Andre Iguodala and JJ Redick, okay? And these two players have been in talks throughout the whole entire summer about trade destinations where these players can go. Now, as of today, Andre Iguodala is with the Memphis Grizzlies. JJ Redick is with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, when these players were traded, well, Andre Iguodala was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and JJ Redick just took the money and ran with the New Orleans Pelicans. And when those deals happened, a lot of people were scratching their heads like, okay, why would these teams want these players? Because if you look at the New Orleans Pelicans, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're not going to compete nor contend for a playoff spot. Why would they sign JJ Redick? Okay, why would they give them all that money to sign JJ Redick? When you look at Andre Iguodala, why would the Memphis Grizzlies trade for Andre Iguodala? Because they're not going nowhere either. These two teams are rebuilding. I feel like the Pelicans are a little closer to being competitive versus the Memphis Grizzlies. They're in a transitional period, and the final product that you see as of today may not be the final product that you see at the end of this upcoming season and for the foreseeable future. Okay, so why would these teams get these players? One, these two players still have a lot left. These two players could have easily signed to contending teams for less than what what they got right now. Andre Iguodala is still under contract. He could have signed a buyout for the Golden State Warriors, but these two teams were off the market, and I felt like, and I told you guys, if I felt like instead of the Lakers waiting on the other shoe to drop with Anthony Davis, they should have still tried to make some type of deal to get JJ Redick, even though they would not had enough money left over for a third player. And the Lakers were trying to stack the deck, most notably LeBron James, by having LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and they thought they can get Kawhi Leonard. And that's why, they asked for Anthony Davis to not accept that $4 million trade kicker. And they had some additional money where they could have signed another max player. I think that was $5 million off as far as making them into a max player, but that's still a good money. And they thought they could have gotten Kawhi Leonard. And I was on the record telling all of y'all, I just didn't see Kawhi Leonard joining a super team when he just left a quote-unquote super team with the San Antonio Spurs, okay? That was one of the reasons why he left the Spurs, okay? He wanted his own team, okay? So, And it would never have been his own team if he would have signed with the Lakers. It still would have been LeBron's team. It would have been friction and all that other good stuff. Okay. So what happened, the reason why these players are with the Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans, these two players have plenty left, in the tank, and these two players are players that can make contending teams can be very competitive going deep into the playoffs. Andre Iguodala has all that playoff experience. He was an MVP with the Golden State Warriors when they knocked off the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was one. He was one of many reasons why they won their championship, and because of he defended LeBron James. Okay, so that's he still has a lot left in the gas tank. Okay. When you look at JJ Redick, he's still a great knockdown shooter. He only got better with time. He was kind of in and out when it comes to being consistent with the Orlando Magic, but when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers and when he played with that juggernaut of a team, his production didn't drop off. It only risen. Okay. So these two players are great players that teams that are trying to establish a playoff run right around the trade deadline. These two players are going to be highly demanding for other teams out there. So there is a scenario, but it's not a great scenario of the Lakers may be interested in maybe trading for Andre Iguodala. Now it's going to be kind of tough for them to do it. They're going to have to give something to the Memphis Grizzlies, and they don't really have a lot of draft picks to make it interesting for the Memphis Grizzlies. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the Clippers can still be involved in getting Andre Iguodala, even though it's not when you look at what they have and what they can package is it's not that great, but it's a little bit greater than the Lakers. But I feel like ultimately the Houston Rockets do have enough on the table to orchestrate a trade for Andre Iguodala. Okay, so he can easily go to the Houston Rockets or any other contending team. The Brooklyn Nets is a possibility if they strike out on Carmelo Anthony. But I've been hearing a lot of reports that the Carmelo Anthony signing is getting real, and he could be signed to the team in the next couple of weeks. But if that deal falls off, and if it falls through, the next person in line that the Brooklyn Nets are interested in is Andre Iguodala. Okay, now with JJ Redick, it's a little bit different because he got that a huge offer with the New Orleans Pelicans, so it's going to be a little difficult to trade JJ Redick. And do the New Orleans Pelicans organization want to trade JJ Redick? It depends on their seating. It depends on having JJ Redick on their roster is going to be a plus. It really depends on can he fit with what they have with their roster. But ultimately, it's really up to JJ Redick. If JJ Redick want to push it and want to contend for a ring, I'm pretty sure the Golden State, the New Orleans Pelicans would kind of respect his wishes and try to push him to a contending team. But both of these players, when you look at trade wise, it's going to be difficult for contending teams to really trade for these two players, because the majority of these contending teams, they don't really have enough cap flexibility nor a lot of draft picks to make it intriguing. Now, out of all the teams I just mentioned, I feel like the Brooklyn Nets, if you have to go in order, I feel like the Brooklyn Nets can easily get either one of these players. Then Houston, a possibility of the Clippers and the Lakers. And there are other teams that may be interested in these two players that are flying under the radar. That a lot of people, I was gonna say Boston, but let's just say, for argument's sake, the Bulls start being very competitive, and there's a possibility that they could go into the playoffs. The Miami Heat, there's a possibility, if they are really firing off on all cylinders, would Pat Riley give up some of that young core that he has for a JJ Redick if they're lacking in scoring? Okay. The New York Knicks. Let's just say hypothetically they have a good winning. I mean, they have a good winning record, and they feel like they can contend. There's a possibility that the New York Knicks might come in. They have plenty of draft picks. They have a core, a lot of young core players that that either of these two teams will be interested in. And do not forget, and I forgot it. I said do not forget, and then I just forgot about it. But a lot of these teams that and I'm trying to think as I'm the Atlanta Hawks. What if the Atlanta Hawks have a good winning record? What if the Dallas Mavericks have a good contending winning record? Okay, so you got to look at these other teams that are not right now favorites for Vegas or favorites for NBA fans, because the season hasn't even started yet. You have to, if these teams that I just mentioned start winning, then they may be interested in the sweepstakes and the services of Andre Iguodala or JJ Redick. And that's why the Memphis Grizzlies and New Orleans Pelicans are kind of holding on to these players, because they can get a better deal with the teams I just mentioned than the contending teams like the Rockets and the Clippers and the Lakers, so on and so forth. Okay, so they can get better offers from the teams that no one is talking about right about now. Okay, but that's all I got to say, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Don One. I am